Welcome to the Unapologetic Mompreneur, the podcast for mums with an online business who are ready to take back their time, home, business, and self so they can restore the balance and thrive, both at home and at work, without feeling like they have to choose between the two. I'm your host, Sarah Dew, life and biz coach for mompreneurs. I'm also a mum, stepmom, wife, introvert, breast cancer survivor, and your mentor for making a change for the better. I've learned how to go from surviving to thriving and unapologetically create a business I love and the life I want for me and my family without worrying about what other people think. And now I'm here to help you do the same. Because being an unapologetic mompreneur doesn't mean that we're selfish or that we don't care about others. It simply means that we are not afraid to show up as our true, authentic selves, to step into our purpose, do what we know is right for ourselves and the ones we love, and take the steps we need to take to make our dream life and business a reality. Join me each week where I'll be sharing all of my best tips and strategies, plus the occasional dose of tough but gentle love to help you feel empowered, motivated, and confident to take action so that you can become the mum, wife, biz owner, and woman you know you are meant and deserve to be. So, are you ready to unapologetically create a business and life you love? Let's do this. Hey there, and welcome to episode 36 of the Unapologetic Mompreneur podcast. Today's episode is another Q&A episode where I am answering a question submitted to me by one of my email subscribers as part of my Sunday 5 to Thrive email series. Each week, I send an email out to my subscribers on a Sunday evening where I share 5 tips and strategies to help them take back their time, their home, their businesses, and themselves so that they can reclaim their power, restore the balance, and go from surviving to thriving in their mompreneur journey. And as part of that email series, I always encourage my subscribers to hit reply, share their struggles with me, and any questions that they have that they would like me to see me cover in a future 5 to Thrive email. And when this question came in, I knew that it had to be a podcast episode too, because it is a topic of something that we all as busy mums trying to juggle all things work life and home life and everything in between struggle with. What was it that she asked? How can I manage my time better so that I can get things done? I find it hard to figure out what to work on, to stay focused, and I get so easily distracted. It's such a great question, and I'm so glad that she asked it because I know that she is not alone. This is a super common struggle that I and so many other mompreneurs in my community, whether it is in my Facebook group, my coaching clients, or in my email subscribers, it is something I know that they all struggle with when juggling working from home with all things home life and the daily distractions that come with it. So how do we make the most of the time that we have so that we feel like we've accomplished something for the hours that we spend in front of our laptops each day? Whether you have 1, 3, or 5 hours to work on your business, here are 5 things that you can do to help you manage your time better and get the most out of your day. These are 5 strategies that I personally try to incorporate into my day so that I can get more done and stay focused, but they are also the strategies that I share with my one-on-one coaching clients when they are struggling with the same. And so if this is you too, and you are looking for ways to manage your time better so that you can get the most out of your day, be productive instead of just busy, and feel like you've accomplished when it comes time to shut down your laptop, give these strategies a try and you will be amazed at the difference that they make, of how it will help you to become a productivity powerhouse and so that you can watch your productivity soar. Strategy number 1 is to resist the urge to scroll first thing. It's tempting to want to dive into your inbox or check out social media before doing anything else, sometimes even before getting out of bed. But resist that urge because all of those emails, the Facebook posts, the Instagram feeds, the TikTok videos, they are all super distracting. They are rabbit holes that send us down and totally throw us off course, and they are a huge time suck too. What can start out as a couple of minutes of mindless scrolling can easily turn into 45 minutes or to an hour, and we have lost a lot of time that we could have been doing things to move the needle forward in our businesses. Not only that, but actually when we start looking at all of those emails, and we know the ones that we need to reply to, and we're trying to figure out the responses in our heads. All of that is super distracting, and we're worrying about what's in our inbox when we're trying to focus on other things. And then if we're spending time scrolling on social media and looking at all of those Instagram posts, it's really easy for that comparisonitis thing to start cropping up and for us to start comparing ourselves to other people and to then start feeling that we're not good enough. And that can totally distract us and ruin our mindset for the day and strip away our motivation. So try to resist the urge to scroll first thing. No matter how important that email might be, it can wait for later on in the day. Set aside a specific time to check your emails and know that that is the time you're going to do it, and don't make it first thing. It's far better to take decisive action first thing in the morning and tackle a task that is going to move the needle forward instead of getting sidelined by your inbox. And equally, set aside some time during the day to scroll through social media when it isn't time to focus on work. Use it as a reward. When you've done and accomplished a task, give yourself a few minutes to scroll through then as your reward, maybe while you're waiting for the kettle to boil. That is what I do, and that really stops that initial morning scroll and me wasting my time. And instead, I get to watch as a reward when I've ticked off a task to just spend a few minutes watching some Frenchy videos. Just make sure that you set that timer and that you're strict with yourself so that you don't then go down a rabbit hole later on in the day. Strategy number 2 is to schedule tasks based on priority. Scheduling our tasks according to priority helps make sure that we are working on the things that matter most. This helps us to be productive instead of just busy, and it helps us to make sure that we are making the most of the best of the time that we have. It's tempting to go through your to-do list and just pick out any old task that makes you feel like you fancy doing. But are those tasks actually getting you to where you want to be? Or are they just nice tasks that you want to work on because you don't want to tackle some of the others? Be super honest with yourself when you're looking at your to-do list and you're picking out your tasks and your priorities for the day, and pick out the most critical tasks. Put those into your schedule first, focus on those first, and then fill in around those for the rest of the work that you need to do. My favorite way of doing this is using the Brian Tracy's Eat That Frog ABCDE method of making a master task list and then prioritizing ABC, the most 3 important, and then using that list to pick out my most prioritized tasks for that day. When you're scheduling your tasks, though, make sure that you are realistic about how long that they are going to take to do as well. Because we always know when we start on something, it ends up taking far longer than we think it's going to. And then we just get frustrated and annoyed that the day has suddenly disappeared. We haven't accomplished half of what we want, and it totally demoralizes us. So when you're scheduling your tasks based on priority, be realistic about how long they're going to need to take to do. And if you're not sure, then add a little bit of a buffer in so that you're not getting frustrated that it's taking longer than expected. A good way of doing this too is if you have got regular tasks that you do on a daily, a weekly, or a monthly basis, actually time yourself to see how long it takes for you to do it. Because then when it comes to scheduling in it and another time, you'll know how much time you need to set aside. Being realistic about how long things take you to do means that you're not overfilling your schedule or you're setting yourself up to feel like a failure before you even start. This was something that was super key for me because I used to be so ambitious about what I thought I could accomplish in a day. And I would set all of these great big to-dos and goals and everything, and I would only accomplish 1 or 2 of them if I was lucky. And then I would beat myself up. But that's because I was putting unrealistic expectations on myself. And I was also getting frustrated that I wasn't actually accomplishing the things that were getting me closer to my goals because I wasn't scheduling my tasks based on priority. So now I look at my to-do list and I'm realistic and I say, yeah, okay, that would be great. I would love to do that. But is that a priority right now? And 9 times out of 10, it's not. I'm picking the things that are nice to do rather than the things that I know that I need to do based on their priority and the critical tasks that are actually going to get me the results that I want. And so now each day I try best I can to go through my list and pick out the things that I know are the top priority, the things that are most critical, the things that are going to move the needle forward. And then I look at the time that I have got available and I think to myself, how long is that going to take? Can I fit it in? And I adjust everything as necessary. And then I would just pick out those top one, two, or three things that I know that I can get done in that day with the time that I have, knowing that they are the most important. And then if there's anything else that I can do after that, that is a bonus. And that really helps you set into your day, knowing that you are realistic, that you've got realistic expectations, and that you're ticking the things off that truly, truly matter. Strategy number 3 is to finish work on time. Want to be more productive? Give yourself set work hours or precise start and end times. Why? Because knowing we only have a certain number of limited hours to get things done makes us more disciplined. Not only that, but finishing work each day at a set time instead of saying, I'll just work one more hour, shows you that you value your time outside of work too, because your value lies in your whole existence, not just the time you are working on your business. This is something that took me a very long time to figure out and actually do. I thought in order to be successful, in order to be productive, in order to get things done in my business, that I had to work every hour under the sun. And I've shared before on previous episodes of the podcast where I would be hustling hard and I would work all day from really early in the morning right through to as close to getting ready for dinner as I possibly can. And then once I'd had dinner, I would be straight back on my laptop. And then at weekends, if I could get away with it, I would work as well. But that wasn't doing me any favors, not just in my business, but in my personal life too. I was exhausted and I was overwhelmed. I was just absolutely knackered and I just wasn't doing my best work. And when you set yourself time to do things, whether it is 1 hour or 3 days or a month, I've learned that I still take that long. So if I set myself an hour, I can get it done most of the time in an hour. If I set myself 2 weeks, that task or project is going to take me 2 weeks. So by having start and end times of when you are working in your day, you know how long you're working for. And having those set number of limited hours forces you to be disciplined. It forces you to knuckle down and be focused. And it forces you to get things done. It makes you more productive because you know that that clock is ticking and that you have to get that work done by the time that the time of the day, the end of the day, work day has finished. This is one of the secrets to feeling successful and working for yourself. You will feel more successful because of the work-life time balance that you have created. How that looks like for you is totally up to you. Take a look at your day, take a look at the pockets of time that you have, and give yourself set work hours. Not only will you then find it easier to switch off at the end of the day, but you really will be more focused when you are working because you will know that those are your set work hours. And like I said, it shows you yourself that you value your time outside of work too. This was one of the biggest game changers for me when I set my work hours and decided that I was going to work during the hours of once Harrison had gone to school and before picking him up again. And then for 1 hour when he gets back in and he's doing PlayStation with his friends or something like that, knowing that those were my set work hours, that I then wasn't working evenings, that I wasn't going to work on a weekend unless something cropped up that I absolutely needed me to do. That really changed everything for me. I had boundaries and I am more productive working a lot less than when I was working all of those hours before. And I've got downtime. I've got time for me. I have got time for my kids. I have got time to spend time with my husband in the evenings. And we have much better weekends because I'm not trying to hustle and work all the time and every hour under the sun. Because having time and making the most of the time and managing your time properly isn't just about managing the time you have in your business. It's also about doing things in a way so that you have time to spend time with the ones that you love and doing the things that make you happy, lift you up, and bring you joy. So take a look at your working week, the pockets that you have, set yourself some work hours, and make a promise to yourself that you will finish work on time, that you will work to that time you set at the end of the day. And when it is that time, that is your day done. Whatever you have left over, you can carry over to and continue tomorrow. Strategy number 4 is to understand why you are procrastinating. Because we all have moments where we procrastinate and we are putting things off or focusing on things that don't really matter. And we know that we are hiding away from actually doing the things that we know we need to do. And that can be a huge time suck for us. Not only is it wasting the time that we could be using to actually do that thing, It also means that it's going to take longer for us to get to where we want to be in our goals. Procrastination is something that I have struggled with for years, and it's taken me a long time to tap into and understand the reasons why I'm procrastinating and what it is that I'm hiding from, or why I'm doing something, not doing something. And once I've tapped in and figured it out, it's so much easier for me to take back the reins and get back in and get stuff done. Procrastination doesn't happen for no reason. There is always an underlying cause that you can address to help you overcome it and take action and keep moving forward and make the most of the time that you have. One thing that I've learned in all of this is that 9 times out of 10, that procrastination is usually down to a fear of some kind. It could be a fear of wanting to actually put that thing out there, of it not being perfect. It could be as a result of that perfectionism or avoidance of the task simply because you don't want to do it. If, like me, you have a tendency to procrastinate, to put things off, to get distracted by shiny objects, to go and do something else when you know you should be knuckling down and doing something else, try to identify that root cause so that you can tackle it. What is coming up for you and what can you do to address it? Spend some time journaling on it, digging into the reasons why of what it is that you are avoiding or that you are struggling to make a decision on doing and taking action. And ask yourself what's coming up with it so that you can push past that. Because once you know what is causing your procrastination, you can spot it when it starts to happen and you can tackle it before it starts taking up too much of your time so that you can get back into control and that you can then make the most of the time that you have and get yourself to where you want to be. And if you want help with overcoming this one, my Finish What You Start masterclass inside Cafe Thrive, my vault of 16 plus masterclasses for mompreneurs, will help you to identify what type of procrastinator you are and what to do about it. You'll find the link to snag that in the show notes. And then strategy number 5 is if it doesn't support your goals, say no. Saying no doesn't always come easy, especially if we feel like we're letting someone down or we're worried about missing out or it's something that we think that we should be doing. But we only have a finite number of hours in our day. And if we want to get things done, we have to say no to the requests and things and activities that come our way that will take us away from our goals. One of the aspects about being an unapologetic mompreneur is saying no to the things that don't serve you, and that it is okay to do that. Saying no doesn't mean that we're being selfish. It just means that we are honoring and respecting our boundaries. And it's not just about saying no to commitments and opportunities that come our way. It's also about saying no to strategies that don't work for us or strategies that don't feel aligned for us. Strategies that are going to take us hours and hours and hours and don't fit with our personality, but we think that we should be doing them because a coach or a mentor or someone that you've been following on Instagram is telling you that it is something you should be doing. So if you want to take back some of your time and make the most of your time during the day and manage your time better, look at everything that you are doing right now. Is it something that you truly, truly have time for? Is it something that feels in alignment with you? Is it something that feels right for you in your business? Is it something that is going to get you closer to your goals and that vision, that long-term vision that you have for your business? Or is it something that's going to take you further away from it? What can you say no to and eliminate from your schedule? And what products, services do you offer? What strategies are you following that take up your time and just feel like one big time suck that you can get rid of and say no to help you free up some of your time so that you can spend it on the things that are aligned and that are going to get you closer to your goals? Again, journaling can really help you with this. And anytime I'm struggling and I'm starting to feel overwhelmed and that time is running away with me and that I'm not getting the things that I want to get done within the time frames that I have, I like to spend some time journaling and just going through everything. And I will jot down all of the things that I'm working on, all of the commitments that I've said yes to, all of the different visibility strategies and all of the different things that I am doing in my business. And I will ask myself, how am I spending my time with this? Is it something that I enjoy? Is it something that is getting me closer to my goals? Or is it something that is distracting, something that I really don't enjoy, something where I'm feeling like I'm flogging a dead horse, or something that is just sucking the joy out of my day? And if it's yes to any of those things, I know it's time for me to scrub it from the list. And then when you've done that, you will feel so much freer. and suddenly more motivated and energized because you've got all this extra free time that you have clawed back that you can spend on doing things that truly matter, that are going to move that needle forward and get you to where you want to be in your business. And it also frees up time for personal things too, because if you're managing to get rid of the things that are sucking up your time, of things that aren't taking you to where you want to be and that aren't in alignment with what you want for you and your business, you may even actually find that you are able to cut your hours back slightly and give yourself a few extra hours of time for you or to spend with your family. Once I did this exercise about 18 months ago, 2 years ago, I realized that actually I really could claw my hours back. It was crazy because, like I was talking about in strategy number 3, about having set work hours and having set finish times, I went from working all day, every day, and every evening and weekends if I could get away with it, to working during the school hours, Monday to Friday. I've now actually taken even more time back as well by cutting out the things that weren't serving me. And I'm now able to have Friday afternoons off where it's just for me. And I get to spend those 2 hours doing something that fills me up, that gives me a chance to rest and recharge. Because I got in touch with the things that weren't supporting me, with the strategies that weren't serving me, with the services that I was offering that weren't serving me and that weren't in alignment with my goals. And it freed up even more of my time. So take a look at all of the things that you are working on right now, all of the opportunities that you've got coming your way, how you are spending your time, and the commitments that you have. Ask yourself if they are supporting your goals. And if they're not, it's okay to let them go. So there you have it, 5 strategies that you can use to help you manage your time better so that you can get things done. Strategies that are going to make it super easy for you to figure out what you need to work on, stay focused without getting distracted, and then feel like you've actually accomplished and winning at the end of your day. So let's do a quick recap. Strategy number 1 was to resist the urge to scroll first thing. Put your phone somewhere out of reach first thing so that you're not tempted to pick it up the very second you wake up before you even get out of bed. Set aside some time later in the day to check your emails and use that first initial time that you would have spent scrolling and diving into your inbox to do one of those first decisive action things that is going to help you move the needle forward. Strategy number 2 was to schedule your tasks based on priority. Take a look at that to-do list and ask yourself what your most critical tasks are. Pick 2 or 3 of those, focus on those first, and then anything else that you get done afterwards is a bonus. Strategy number 3 was to finish work on time. Set yourself those work hours and give yourself precise start and end times so that you have those hours to work and you know when you are working, and it will help you to be more disciplined and make the most of and more productive in the time that you do have. Strategy number 4 was to know what causes procrastination. If you're finding yourself procrastinating and avoiding some of the tasks that you need to work on, dig into that. Spend some time journaling and try and figure out what the root cause is for that procrastination so that you can tackle it head on, move past it, and start accomplishing your goals. And then finally, strategy number 5 is if it doesn't support your goals, say no. It is okay to say no to the things that don't serve us, the things that are taking us away from our goals. Saying no doesn't mean that we are being selfish. It means that we are honoring and respecting our boundaries so that we can spend our time on the things that truly matter and be more focused and productive with the time that we do have. I hope that this episode has helped. I would love to hear from you which of these strategies you're going to try first. Send me a DM over on Instagram at the Unapologetic Mompreneur and let me know. Here is to managing our times better, becoming productivity powerhouses, and seeing our productivities soar. And if you're not yet signed up to 5 to Thrive and want to have those 5 tips delivered to your inbox every Sunday evening, you'll find the link to sign up in the show notes. And if you have a question or a topic that you would like me to cover on a future podcast episode, just like this Q&A session, then please send me a message over on Instagram too. I would love to hear from you. And I look forward to chatting with you in the next episode. Bye for now. Thank you so much for joining me for another installment of the Unapologetic Mompreneur podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an episode. And if you have a moment, I would love for you to leave me a rating and a review so that other mompreneurs can find this podcast too. Here's to unapologetically becoming the mum, wife, biz owner, and woman you know you are meant and deserve to be. I can't wait to chat with you in the next episode. Bye for now.